We are following some breaking news here in our 6 o'clock hour out of the West Metro right now. This is the aftermath of a large apartment fire about 30 minutes from Minneapolis in the small town of Loretto. We heard from the fire chief right before we came on air. He told us 2 people had to be rescued. Cece Gaines is there right now and will update us on what's going on there in just a minute. But good morning to you. Like we said, we're going to check in with Cece. Multiple departments had to help with this one, so it was a big one. Yeah, pretty big fire here. Jason and Alicia here with you on this Tuesday. Let's get over to Mace and expecting a cold front here over the next couple of days, which is going to be really nice.
Yeah, it's taking its time getting here to the Twin Cities, but it has moved through northern Minnesota where the temperature has dropped back into the 50s in several areas. Still a warm 69 for the metro, and the humidity is up enough to where you notice it. Dew point 60, 61 with a mostly cloudy sky. Throughout northern Minnesota, there's those 50-degree readings. That sure feels nice, but warm again central southern Minnesota, so the afternoon will be a little toasty. Low to mid-80s for us. The front, though, is kicking off a few showers. Some here in throughout northern Minnesota around Mille Lacs Lake towards, it looks like Malacca and Tamora eventually. Looks like Foley seeing some rain stretching on up through Randall and also around Brainerd. Shower or 2 there approaching Wayzata, and other little showers from Austin and Albert Lee south of Owatonna over towards looks like Wells, Fairmont, St. James, and New Ulm. 85 our forecast today. Temps climb quickly through the 70s this morning as storms pop up later on. Mace, thank you. Looking at the map this morning, still quiet around the loop and beyond. No crashes to slow you down. A live look over in Wisconsin, actually. This is Hudson at Hegan Street 94. Very quiet start there. Don't have to leave early if you do have to head towards the Twin Cities this morning. Well, back to our breaking news, that apartment fire in Loretto where 2 people had to be rescued just a few hours ago. About 12 different departments were called to this scene to help fight this fire. Loretto is a small community in Hennepin County, about 30 minutes west of Minneapolis. Cece has been on the scene since 3 a.m. Cece, what's the latest out there?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we've been here for the past 3 hours, and I will say that the scene has definitely calmed down since we talked to you all the way back at 5 a.m. I'll show you what we're dealing with now. I know we mentioned earlier in the show that there are 12 different fire departments working to put out this blaze at the height of this. Right now, we're dealing with one engine, the Loretto from the Loretto Fire Department. Now, if you could see here, I mean, it's pretty calm now, but you can see the aftermath, the glass on the ground, the insides of the apartment building on the street from crews cleaning up here. But at this point, crews are just working inside to investigate the cause of this fire and then also to monitor for any hot spots. Smell of smoke gone, alarm sounding is now off. Now, we did speak to the fire chief a couple of hours ago, and he said this all started around 2 this morning. Now, this apartment here had heavy fire coming out of the basement. We're told that right now there's extensive damage on the 1st and 2nd floors of this building. And at one point, as mentioned this morning, crews had to rescue 2 people who were hanging out of a 3rd-story window. But the chief said everyone got out safe. They rescued everyone. They're okay this morning. And the Red Cross was able to assist residents after the fire. Now, again, the cause of this fire under investigation this morning, and the investigative team and crews will be here until that investigation is complete, so probably for a couple of more hours. But coming up in 30 minutes, we're actually going to hear more from the fire chief about why this fire required so much assistance and why it was so hard to put out. Guys. All right, looking forward to hearing from the chief this morning. Cece, thank you.
In the last 14 hours, we've learned the man shot and killed by law enforcement during a domestic call in western Wisconsin has been identified as a Stillwater corrections officer. Deputies shot 42-year-old Tyler Abel Saturday night in Star Prairie Township while responding to a domestic call. Officers on the scene say they saw a man holding a rifle and threatening his family and them. A St. Croix County deputy and a New Richmond officer both fired shots and are on standard administrative leave. Developing this morning, the VA doctor at the center of Carol Evans' multi-year broken promises investigation has now been terminated. Hundreds of veterans are being recalled for new neurological exams. AJ Legault shares more on our investigation that exposed how war-wounded and sick veterans were being systemically misdiagnosed and denied benefits after seeing the same VA doctor.
At the Toma VA, Carol Evans' investigation revealed Dr. Mary Jo Lanska's seemingly routine and obvious misdiagnosis of veterans during brief benefits exams.
And I'm told I don't have a TBI.
Put it on the report that I didn't even have MS.
What'd she say about your Parkinson's?
I didn't have any Parkinson's.
Dr. Lanska never responded to phone calls or emails.
Dr. Lanska, AJ Legault
So
from Carol
we knocked on her door.
I'd like to ask you some questions about all the veterans that you've been misdiagnosing.
After more than a year of obfuscation and outright denial that a problem even existed, the Department of Veterans Affairs, responding to pressure from members of Congress, finally took action.
Dr. Lanska no longer works at VA.
VA Secretary Dennis McDonough himself visited Tomah today to discuss the Lanska cases.
We will make sure that any veteran who got a CMP exam from Dr. Lanska and was denied access to benefits has their case reviewed. I promise you that this is a top priority for us.
Now, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin's office tells KARE 11 they've been briefed and roughly 600 veterans are now being recalled for new medical testing and potentially decades of benefits backdated to when they first applied.
6:06 on the clock this morning. If you live near Monticello, you'll want to pay attention to this story. Today, the Minnesota Department of Public Safety and other agencies will be doing an emergency drill near Monticello Nuclear Power Plant. The crews will go through a series of drills to work out an efficient and effective response in case of an emergency. This exercise comes months after the plant was temporarily shut down because a faulty pipe was leaking radioactive water. That pipe has since been repaired.
For years, the Roof Depot site has been a huge point of contention for people in the East Phillips neighborhood in South Minneapolis. But now there's some progress.
I'm Heidi Wigdahl. Plans for the Roof Depot site in South Minneapolis are moving forward with new renderings of East Phillips Neighborhood Institute's, known as EPNI's, vision for the area. It includes an indoor urban farm and community hub. After nearly a decade of back and forth with the city of Minneapolis, EPNI will now be able to buy the site if they can come up with the funding. The state has dedicated $6.5 million and even more if EPNI can provide the city with $3.7 million by September 8th. If all goes according to plan, they could start work on the property as early as next summer.
6:07. If you are sick this morning, health officials are telling you to stay home and to stay away from any local beach or pool.
Eva Anderson is live this morning at Schultz Lake in Eagan, which is closed this morning after dozens of people reported being sick. Eva, what can you tell us?
Yeah, just 1 week after Schultz Lake Beach opened for the season, you can see there's caution tape lining the lake. It's now closed. This after MDH received more than 60 reports of people getting sick after swimming in here, with reports of symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea. They say that people who swam in the lake over a 3-day period prior to last weekend were the ones getting sick. At that point, they did shut down the lake at the beginning of the weekend. The health department says those symptoms are consistent with norovirus, and that gets in the lake through someone's fecal matter. The health department is warning those who have symptoms to not go into any lake or pool. Right now, they're working with sick people to confirm the virus. And as they work on that, they're telling people to, once again, stay out if they are feeling sick, and they don't yet have a date for when this could be open again. Guys?
All right, Eva, thanks for that update, but definitely unfortunate, especially when it's been so hot. People want to go to the lake, but of course that one's closed off for now.
Yeah. All right, Eva, thank you. And let's take a look outside from our Golden Valley camera. It has been hot, and we're seeing another hazy morning this morning thanks to those wildfires up in Canada. Of course, that's causing those air quality alerts we've been telling you about across the state, reaching down here into the Twin Cities. Let's get out to Mace in the backyard this morning. Mace, when are we going to see some clearing of those alerts?
I think by later on this evening is when the alerts expire, but we will already start to see conditions improve a little bit in the afternoon and then especially tonight and into tomorrow. But definitely hazy conditions here as you look across the metro. A little ozone left in the air, coupled with, of course, the wildfire smoke being brought down with the cold front. 69 our temp right now. It's a warm morning here in the Twin Cities. Cloudy sky, humidity, yeah, it's up. Dew point around 61, so not that it's muggy this morning, but once the sun gets up a little higher and the temps climb into the 80s, you'll notice the humidity, kind of damp. Wind east-northeast at about 6 to 7 miles an hour. In northern Minnesota, though, you're behind the front. Nice and refreshing. Brainerd 59, Grand Rapids 56, low 50s around Duluth and Hayward. 70s, though, ahead of the front. Another warm day expected. Here's the air quality alerts out for eastern Minnesota, southern Minnesota, those who may be sensitive to the particulates in the air, the smoke, or the elevated ozone, which we're seeing most notably on the stations here in southeast Minnesota in the red range, unhealthy, and the orange is sensitive. St. Cloud station, also the one there near Mora. Metro 1's right in the moderate zone. The wildfire smoke, obviously a problem as well. Here's the wildfires well over in Quebec. And with the cold front that's sweeping down this way, it's actually blown some of that smoke back at us. Although the forecast model here on the smoke side, notice it shows improvement of our air quality, especially later tonight and again into tomorrow. A couple of showers popping up in our cloudy skies with the front dropping southeastward. You notice a few showers north of St. Cloud up through Brainerd and over towards around Pillager and Staples, and a few showers as well on the south end of Lake Mille Lacs. Shower or two also approaching Lake Minnetonka, and other showers, even a thunderstorm now west of Albert Lea over towards Austin and near around Spring Valley. You'll notice here on Microcast throughout the morning, showers in northern Minnesota. The ones in southern Minnesota kind of fade southward and away. But then as we look on into the afternoon, pop-up showers and storms into this evening before things start to quiet down overnight. Still can't rule out a shower in western Minnesota as we look on into your Wednesday afternoon. Here's the 7-day forecast. Again, storms today. Drier and cooler later tomorrow and Thursday, and the weekend is looking rather nice. Still some rain chances, but it looks cooler and drier again.